according to a Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrest warrant. That substitute teacher is accused of instigating a fight between several students at YMCA Tiger Academy that's located on the north side of town.
The report says Janine White, a substitute teacher, was frustrated when a student refused to break into small groups. It says she asked the class, quote, "Who in here can beat him up?" After 4 kids raised their hands, she called on them one by one to fight the student while she watched. The report says White pushed the student, causing him to hit a desk, and police saw a cut and bruises around his ear. YMCA said in a statement the substitute was properly vetted. They did an internal investigation that resulted in terminating the substitute and reporting the incident to DCF. White faces a felony child abuse charge and several misdemeanors. Parents was that they were at least relieved to know that that substitute is no longer at this school.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit y'all another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely beautiful. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers of the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Florida by way of Jacksonville. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Florida, everybody outside the great city of Jacksonville. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. And as you all may know, today is what? Yes, today is Wacky Wednesday. And this story is wiggity, wiggity, wag. Now, I want to ask you all one question before I dig deep into this story. And also, I can't say deep into Janine because I don't want nobody to get mad at me out there. But what I want to ask you all is this. What do a teacher supposed to do when she has a student who don't want to obey her command? What she has to say? What should that teacher do? A, should a teacher recruit students to jump that student? B, should that teacher herself put the paws on that student? Or C, which means correct, should the teacher go immediately to the principal office and notify the principal and also bring security? Because you already know some of these kids don't play. And it all went down, yes you all, a few weeks ago inside the great city of Jacksonville, where we have a 57-year-old teacher, well, ex-teacher now, who goes by the name of Miss Janine White. And the G in Janine stand for gangster. Now, Miss Janine White was a substitute teacher at YMCA Tiger Academy in Jacksonville, where she had a student who didn't want to obey her command. And her command was basically just to line up in groups because school was getting ready to let out. And I guess that's the way they do it now.
The report says Janine White, a substitute teacher, was frustrated when a student refused to break into small groups.
Back when I was going to school, when school let out, the bell ring, we all get the hell up out the classroom. Wasn't no lining up, so I don't understand how they doing this these days. But at the same time, Miss Janine told the students to break off into groups. Now, after the student refused to do what Miss Janine said, instead of Miss Janine doing the right thing, like Spike Lee said, going to the principal office and notifying security, she decided to recruit 4 students inside her classroom to jump the child. Think about that.
It says she asked the class, quote, "Who in here can beat him up?" After 4 kids raised their hands, she called on them one by one to fight the student while she watched. The report says Janine White, a substitute teacher, was frustrated when a student refused to break into small groups. It says she asked the class, quote, "Who in here can beat him up?" After 4 kids raised their hands, she called on them one by one to fight the student while she watched.
Now, parents, just think how would you feel if you was to get a phone call from your child or from the school, because the schools act like they keep secrets these days. And the reason why I say that, because a lot of these stories I have done, the school do not even report the incident. But parents, what would you all do if you was to receive a dreadful phone call saying that your child was involved in an attack by students, and the students jumped on the child because the teacher told them to do it? How would you feel and how would you respond? Because I know me, I would be mad as hell. And that could be my mama. Because I know one thing about my mom Barbara, and big shout out to you, mama. My mama would have came up there and whooped some ass because I got my ass whooped at school quite a few times. But anyway.
It says she asked the class, quote, "Who in here can beat him up?" After 4 kids raised their hands.
And now, as you all heard the news say, this heifer recruited 4 students to jump on this boy. Now, how you going to sit there, number one, and ask these students who in here think they can beat this child up? What kind of adult do that? And Miss Janine, number one, that mug shot. Every time I look at that mug shot, I just go, oof. But anyway, Miss Janine, how in the hell you 57 years old, ma'am, and you gonna sit up here and recruit these children? You are old enough to be their grandmother. Talking about setting an example. And to all you people out there talking about Trey, well, sound like y'all about to cry. These kids are bad as hell. You don't know what they're capable of. What you mean what they're capable of? Because some of you all in the comment section be trying to justify what these teachers do to these students. But think about this. Would you all say that child deserved that? Or would you also say that child needed his ass whooped if that was your child? Because I guarantee you, if that was your child, your son or daughter, or your grandchild, guess what? Y'all would not say a damn thing. You already know that. Anyway.
After 4 kids raised their hands, she called on them one by one to fight the student while she watched.
And after Miss Janine White recruited these other students to fight this child, she called on these students one by one. She was just like this. Lil Anthony, next. Lil Brian, next. Lil Dion, next. Lil Trey, you next. But guess what though? One of those students turned around and told the police and also told the principal what exactly took place. So just think about the nerve of this teacher sitting back watching these students fight this child. And then she had a nerve, number one, to want to deny it. But ma'am, Miss Janine, you cannot deny it because one of the boys that attacked this child told the police and also the school board that you told him to do it and also to earn extra credit, as you all see.
After 4 kids raised their hands, she called on them one by one to fight the student while she watched.
Think about the nerve of this person. You gonna sit back and watch these children fight, and then she had the nerve, family, to deny all allegations, as you all see, saying that the boy partook in 2 fights on his own. Ma'am, how in the hell is 2 4? Because the last time I checked, they say 4 students. You recruited 4 students.
After 4 kids raised their hands, she called on them one by one to fight the student while she watched.
And it's not me saying that. That's the news saying that. And that's also the police report. And that's also one of the boys that attacked the child. And that's also damn near all the children in the classroom. Miss Janine, I mean, talk about having a damn bad day. Ma'am, you should go see Jesus. Go talk to God because you do not understand. People will come up there and put some on what we call, ass.
The report says White pushed the student, causing him to hit a desk, and police saw a cut and bruises around his ear.
And now after the fight was over and little man got through whooping those other 4 boys' ass, and little man, whoever your parents is, if y'all listening to this video today, you all need to put little man in boxing camp. Please do so, because little man was standing on business that day like King Harris. But guess what though? The fight was not over because Miss Janine stepped in. Yes, the big heavyweight stepped in. And you heard what the news said.
The report says White pushed the student, causing him to hit a desk, and police saw a cut and bruises around his ear.
And as you all heard the news say, this child received cuts and bruises after whooping these other 4 boys' ass. Now think about this, family. Now what if that was your child and you sent your child out looking normal that morning with nothing on his face, with nothing wrong with his ears or anything like that, but later on that evening, you go pick up your child from school and you notice that your child has scars and cuts and bruises around his face and around his ear area. How would you respond? And that's why Miss Janine and people like you who think that you can go around putting your hands on people's children, you cannot do that, ma'am. And the nerve of you to sit there, number one, to deny everything when all these children are saying that you told them to do this. But ma'am, how can you deny the cuts and bruises around this child's face and ear area? You cannot deny that. So evidently, somebody's telling her what? Yeah, start with an L. A damn lie.
First Coast YMCA said in a statement the substitute was properly vetted.
How in the hell this teacher was properly vetted, number one, when she sat up here and did this? Evidently, it must be lackluster vetting going on in Jacksonville, Florida, or somebody's not doing their damn job screening these damn teachers coming inside these damn classrooms. But think about this. If I was the family, after this took place, guess what? Even though my child did not want to get in groups or whatnot, I would still go talk to me a lawyer and properly sue Miss Janine and also sue the school for allowing this to take place, even though they did not directly allow it, but you allowed it by letting this type of teacher come in there and teaching these children when she is not properly capable of controlling her emotions. But that's not even the bad part, family. And now in closing, after this assault took place on this child, after this child got through whooping those other 4 boys' ass, he had to deal with Miss Janine. Now, after Miss Janine slung the child down to the ground, that's when she tried to do the right thing like she was Spike Lee and notified the school staff. And 2 of the staff came to the classroom, and guess what Miss Janine gonna tell the staff members? That the child was having behavioral issues. And now think about this, family, after hearing that. How in the hell does the child have behavioral issues when we know, number one, the child is a child? You get what I'm saying? Miss Janine, you're 57, you're a grandma. So evidently, ma'am, you are the one with the issues more than the child. Because who in their right mind, number one, risk their livelihood, risk being arrested just like you are charged with a felony? Who does that all over because the child don't want to line up in groups to go home? Think about that. But you had nerve, as you all see at the bottom in closing, to tell the staff members that the child had behavioral issues and then gonna try to deny everything. But guess what you can't deny, Miss Janine? You cannot deny those cuts and bruises on his child's face.
The report says White pushed the student, causing him to hit a desk, and police saw a cut and bruises around his ear.
And also you can't deny what all these students are saying. And also one of the boys that you told to get up and fight this child, he told on you also. So how in the hell is everybody lying and you're the one telling the truth? Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. There's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me and we can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also share the video with your family and friends. And to the moms and dads out there, when you see your children in school, make sure that your children is obeying what the teachers say. Make sure they are doing the right thing and not causing any trouble. But just in case trouble arises, guess what? Go to the schools and be there directly. And make sure nothing like this occur to your children. And to the people out there saying this child deserves it and that you will put your hands on the child, guess what? You also got to understand that child got a mom and a dad, whether they're in the home or not. And guess what? How would you feel if the mom or dad come up there and drag your ass? Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all soon on next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.